prime rib in the Instant Pot, something you don't hear that often. Well, this is not just any Instant Pot, it's the Duo Crisp and Air Fryer. I've said it before, the hottest item on the market right now. And it's going to get worse as people understand and learn what all this device will do. I've had another cooker very similar to this right here for a year now. And man, it is leaps and bounds above just a pressure cooker. It eliminates a lot of steps. And it also adds the ability to do this kind of stuff right here. And I've done prime ribs many times, and if you're not cooking a big prime rib, there is no reason to cook it anywhere else than in something like this right here. That's a 4.5 pound or 4.5 pound prime rib, and I'm fixing to show you everything you need to know, and we're fixing to cook that in that Instant Pot. I'm John Sanders, also known as Jelly 007. Let's cook a prime rib in an Instant Pot. Okay, I want to go over a couple of things right quick, because a lot of this will be done when I come back. I'm going to take this 4.5 pound ribeye roast or prime rib, and I'm going to lightly spray it with my favorite go-to oil for air frying, especially because it's got a really high smoke point, 550 degrees, and air fryers are usually inside your home, and they get pretty hot. And I'll say this, avocado oil, it really doesn't leave a flavor. Or I'll say this, if it does, it's a good flavor and it doesn't smoke. So we're going to lightly coat that just so this right here will stick better. My kosher salt and my cracked black pepper. All right, and then we're going to use my meter block, which is connects to my tablet, and it'll show me the internal temp wirelessly of the roast. In fact, I'll show you right quick what it does, because it does something else too. I'll stick this in the roast, and it'll be, say right here, so it'll give me the internal temp right here. I'm going to be 28 to say 132, and that's just so I got somewhat of a medium to medium rare internal right in the center. It'll be fairly red in the center, but it'll be, you know how prime rib works. It'll be kind of done out here, so I got something to serve everybody at the table. In other words, if they want red, I got middle. If they want done, it's out here. Well, it also tracks the temperature right here, so we'll be able to tell the internal temperature of the pot, of the chamber. So we're going to know what temp we're cooking at and what the roast is at the whole time. And I'll put this back in right quick, but it's a really neat device. It's called a meter block, and it's meter, M-E-A-T-E-R. I'm not affiliated, just telling you what we're using. But like I said, I'm going to use this. I'll use the air frying basket. I found that, honestly, with my Ninja Foodi, another device I have that cooks real similar to this, that it works better. I think these baskets, the way the fans are designed in these units, it helps circulate that air. It's just designed to circulate air. So I think anytime you can use it for something like this, it's a good thing. And we're going to be on air fry mode. And by the way, when in fact, I think that's all I need to say here, and it is. When I come back, we're going to get that preheated and get it ready. I'll have this ready to go in this right here, salt and pepper on it, and the oil. We're going to get it in there, and we're going to start cooking this thing. So y'all hold up, and I'll be right back. I did decide to go ahead and show this. It's not going to hurt anything, but I mean, this is what I mean by lightly coated or lightly sprayed, just like that. Just something to make the salt and pepper stick, which I'll say this, you can put a lot of things on a prime rib. I just like, it's nothing but a great big steak. I just like salt and pepper. And by the way, this is a boneless, obviously, prime rib, and I think it works better in these. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on with a bone you got to deal with, and there's not a lot of room. It's not a huge thing. So anyhow, I'm just going to do this right here. In fact, I'll just do this one side, and the rest of them will be identical. And then I'm just going to do this, put a little salt, and like I said, you put as much as you want. It's common sense there, but it's a big piece of meat. You can get more than you think there. And it helps crust it a little bit too. So, and by the way, one more thing. I set this out of the refrigerator a while back, and I uncovered it before I took it out of the refrigerator to help it dry, because that helps it brown a little bit. So I'm going to say in 2 hours it's been uncovered, and then it's been out of the refrigerator for say 45 minutes. Anyhow, I'm gonna finish that up and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm expecting this, again, first time I've ever done it in Instant Pot, I'm expecting around an hour and a half. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna do 400-degree air fry for like 15 minutes and then look at it. And then if I think we're gonna go by look and feel. If I think it's too much is happening, we're gonna lower temps. And by the way, you can only go to 1 hour on any of these settings, or as far as air, roast, bake, and broil. So that being said, I've got the probes in. I've got them set to the center, and it's in the center of the meat. There's my temps right there. So I'm going to preheat this. Once it preheats, I'm going to put this in here and set it in there. So here we go. I'm going to set that for 15 minutes. It's already at 400 degrees. I'm going to hit start. And as soon as it says add food, we're going to do that. Okay, so it doesn't actually say add food. It just started timing. So I've already set the prime rib in here. That only took just a few minutes. But there's what it looks like. And I've had to adjust these probes just a little bit. Hindsight, I probably should have put the roast in here and then put the probes in. But it's not a big deal. Like I said, we're watching it, and I got this too, the Thermapen. All right, all we got to do is set this back on, and it should start right back up. We're going to take a look at it in, say, 10 or 15 minutes. I'll be back then. Okay, so we've crossed the 8-minute mark or so. Let's get an idea of what it looks like. And it's starting to brown pretty good. There's no doubt. So we may lower temps in a minute, but right now we're going to let it go, because there's where we are. In fact, I'll get this a little closer. We're at 384, and that's just opened that lid. I saw it at 390 a minute ago for the chamber temp, and this hasn't even moved. The internal hasn't moved very much at all. There's where I got my targets set. Where one alarm will go off at 128, and if something happens, I'm not going to let it get to 135, but if it were, it would alarm then. And it gives you a 5-minute notice before a lot of things. But anyhow, I'll be right back. Okay, we're at 26 seconds left on the 15 minutes. I wanted to show something. It's really accurate. I mean, it's 390, 391 on that chamber. We've went up a couple of degrees. So I'm going to let it finish, because we're going to lower temps, I believe. If it looks like I think it is, let's just see. But we got 8, 9 seconds, and I don't know why I'm waiting. I can lift it, because I can cancel and start over. I do kind of want to know what it does. Does it go into cool down? And it does not look like it. So it doesn't have a cool down that the fan's still running, but it doesn't call it cool down. So we're going to lift it off. All right, let's see what we got. That looks really good. I think we're really close to enough browning on top. I'm going to call that good. That's what I normally do around that in the Ninja Foodi. So what we're going to do, I'm going to hit cancel, which I didn't have to because it timed all the way out. Put the lid back on. All right, now we're going to air fry. I'm going to go ahead and go to 1 hour. And even, again, I'm going to be standing here. I've got probes. I'm watching temps. I'm not even going by time. It's just that all I can get out of this is an hour. And you can see, once you go past an hour, it goes back to 1. I mean, if there's something I don't understand, then maybe there is. But 1 hour is all I'm getting. And I'll tell you something else. If you don't hurry, it'll reset itself. We're going to 350. And I'm going to hit start. And we're going to let that go that 1 hour. And just here's where we're watching, over here. So be back a minute. Okay, we're coming up on the midway point of the hour. Now, one thing I want to say is this right here. If I can find the handle. 338 and 340. That is really accurate. And if you notice a while ago, we were really accurate on the requested temperature we had. And there it is at our halfway mark. So I'm going to take this off. And let's see, it's brown. In fact, I can tell by looking, we're probably going to lower that temp just a little bit. And honestly, sometimes on my Ninja, I use the bake feature or whatever, but I really wanted to finish this with an air fry. Now, I may center that up a little bit because I can see it's off to one side. So I'm going to do that just to make, if nothing else, make me feel a little better. I'm trying to find something that'll work best. Maybe this. Just gonna scoot it over a little bit where I want, even airflow. So I'm going to set that lid on. We're at and I'm going to, it says you can change temps at any time, so let's see. Yep. I'm going to lower that to 325 for right now. It still looks fine. It's a little dark. It's dark, so I don't want it to get much darker. It's good, don't get me wrong. Again, that's pretty impressive. It wants me to turn the food, but I'm not going to. We just did what we're doing. Got an 82 internal and 306 right now. Well, I just had that lid off, so that doesn't matter. But anyhow, be back in a little bit. We'll see how it's looking. Okay, so we're at, technically, 50 minutes of cook time. We're at 107 degrees internal. And I want to see what it looks like, because I can smell it. And it looks great. I got a feeling it's going to be perfect. It is a little dark still, but I mean, not really. We're good. I'm going to lower that temp, though. I don't know what I'm going to put it at yet. Let's see. We'll try. Well, we're going up fairly fast. So I'm going to lower the temp to 300. And by the way, well, I didn't show you before I opened that lid. It was tracking within 5 or 6 degrees of what I'm asking for anyhow. So we're going to have to go the next 10 minutes at 300 and see what we're at with those temps in just a minute. So be back then. Okay, so the meter is telling me to pull this one from the heat now, because it's saying my carryover temp will, in other words, when you remove it from the heat, somebody asked me that today, when you remove it from the heat, it'll make it to 128 without any more heat, just from the carryover or the residual heat in the roast itself. I'm not going to. I'm going to let it get just a little bit more, but we're 6 minutes remaining, and we got 3 right here. So you know what? I think I'm going to call it at that, which will be when that ends, which will be an hour and 15-minute cook time. So I'll be back in 3 minutes. Okay, so we're showing 3 minutes here at 120 and 121. So I'm assuming they're correct. It looks a little early to be pulling, but hey, it's not a big deal. I'll tell you why in just a second. Let's get it out of there. We'll take that off, because what I'm actually doing with this is we're going to use it for sandwiches, but I'm also going to use it for steak and eggs. And that is one of the, there's nothing that reheats better. This is one of the most bang for your bucks piece of meat you'll get. Yeah, they're a little pricey, but you can right now cut steaks or prime rib slices off and have it tonight. And then everything from steak and eggs, what we're going to do with a lot of that, and sandwiches. I mean, you can, a lot of things you can do. You can eat it 10 different ways. And there it sits. I'm going to go ahead and completely remove it. And you can see it's already 123 right here. So I'm already 5 minutes. I know it's going to make it to 128. And that'll be plenty for me. So we ended up with an hour and 15 minutes. The first 15 at 400, which I do that to kind of sear. That's a questionable, there's a lot of different ways to do this, but I like that, and I've done it in my Ninja for many times. Kind of sear the outside and then finish it at lower temps. Now, I've never had to go all the way down to 300 that I remember in my Ninja, but I do the same thing. I watch my temps and I look at because it's got the Ninja has the same thing, the look and feel. I mean, the sneak a peek, so you can look at it, and that's just what you do. I mean, every cook's a little bit different, and you just have to do that. You just kind of watch it and change things as you go. So I'm gonna grab some gloves or something that I can get that out of there. I'm gonna set it on that plate back there and give it a few minutes to rest, and we're gonna cut it up. Be right back. Okay, I found some of my gloves, and we're going to pull that out of there just like this. Set it right here. Put this back in there. And let this rest a minute. And then we're going to slice off a few pieces. We're going to probably cut it in half just to see how it looks in the center. Just so you'll know. And like I said, I'm using it for a lot of things it doesn't hurt to cut up. So I will, like I said, we're going to let it rest at least, 10 minutes. But we're going to watch these temps. You can see already we're at 126 and 124. So I got a feeling that's going to be perfect. Be back. Okay, so this is some pretty good information to know. And it's because carryover is a lot more than people think. It does more than people think. And right there it is. The steaks have been out. Wait, and you saw what the temp was, but they've been out almost 8 minutes. And you saw what they were. I don't remember. I think that was 121. And if that's right, that's 15 degrees. But now that is a huge, 4.5 pound piece of meat, or started out as that. And there's a lot of residual heat in a roast that big. So you get a lot of carry. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that sit. I'm not in a hurry. Again, this is for, I may eat some of it tonight, but it's for sandwiches and steak and eggs. But as you can see, we're still climbing. So I'm going to let that turn around. So, be back. Okay, it was 15 minutes. And the first time I saw either number turn around. So, I'm not sure if it's done, but I don't want it to go any further. I mean, normally we cook it and within, 7 or 8 minutes, I'm cutting it and releasing some of that heat. So, what we're going to do is open it up and see how it looks. And I'm going to show you the kind of thing you can expect on the outside first. And that is a perfect prime rib right there. I mean, that's, again, you serve everybody at the table, the people that want, for medium, and you can see already, and I'm going to go ahead and pull these out because I'm going to cut it in half because I don't want to slice it all. I'm going to eat that tonight. I don't want to do any more slicing. I got to make sure you can see what I'm doing, and you can. So I'm going to pull these out. That just went to 143. I don't know how far it would go, but I don't want it going any further. So maybe, if you're going to do it for, like I'm doing breakfast, in fact, that just went to ready as I pulled it out. If you're doing a breakfast for something like, you might want to pull it at 115 or so, Anyhow, I want to see what it looks like right in the center. And this will leave me 2 good hunks that I can carve from tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and that is absolutely 100% what I want. And I'm going to get that a little closer, but I'm leading the camera in and get it a little closer. But that's prime rib. Again, there is no reason, unless you're cooking a 12-pound prime rib or something, there is absolutely no reason to cook it in anything other than something similar to that. And I know I'm jerking this camera around, so bear with me. But I'm gonna kind of put this back together, and I'm gonna get it in a container where I can control those juices running off. I'm gonna eat those 2 pieces right there. So I'll be right back. Let me get that done. Okay, so it's time to eat. That means, for me, a little bit of finishing salt on a ribeye, thinly sliced, which would make a sandwich that would be unbelievable. And I'm going to see if I can, there's plenty of, you see the juices and all that. I'm going to put in that container with that for tomorrow. Stuff like steak and eggs. Or just cutting one of those up and eating it. Or making sandwiches. It's unlimited. I mean, you put a baked potato or something with that. You can do a lot. Hey, thank y'all for watching my video. So far, so good. I've got nothing bad to say about this device right here. And real similar to the Ninja Foodi. I swap recipes. I'm everything I've looked at, you can. This is one of the Ninja Foodi's recipes. So, hey, again, thank y'all for watching. Kitchens bring families together. Always have, always will. And this kind of stuff will bring a gathering together. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.